My name is Barbara Marcos Sepulveda Reyes, and I'm here to share with you how my life has changed since I speak English. Uh, the English was a subject in my old school, in my whole life school, that it was really important. That it was like math and Spanish and English are like the big three, and something like that. So it was so important, and that was since I had memory. So when I was younger, like in third of kindergarten, and I started all this another language thing, I wasn't really so concerned of what I was doing. Being honest, I was like, okay, just doing the activities, but don't realizing that. So when I was a little bit older, I'm like third grade, I understand that it was another language. It was another way to speak, to communicate, to have communication with the with the oh my gosh, with the other people. So um it started in pandemic. Yeah, in pandemic I was watching a saga of movies with my auntie, and my auntie was like, yeah, we will be watching this series but in English. And I was like, what? But yeah, it helped me a lot. It helped me to understand and realize and analyze, and have like in my mind that I was learning something. So, and before that, when I was in the school and in the middle school, it was like, oh my gosh, was a expression that it has so much important, because I was like, oh my gosh, and it was like, oh, that's in English, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, that's in English, and it's a expression that I use, but it's in English, and that's when my brain has a click and say, oh, these are words just in another way, in another language, in another country. I call it like that, but that's a word, that's something that I could say in Spanish, but I say it more in English. So sometimes when I'm watching movies or series, I notice that I started thinking in English. Like, I have just saw a movie and now I'm traumatized with a phrase and something like that. So I think that helps me to understand many more things. So okay, learning another language also made me feel more aware of how I think. Sometimes I feel more logical and other times more emotional, and it depends on moment to another. But I think English helped me balance both sides of, now I'm thinking this, but now I'm logical things. Now I'm feeling this. When you are not allowed to say it in Spanish, you can just say it in English, and in my case, it feels more relaxed. So, and when I feel something and I don't know how to say it in Spanish, I also think in English and say like, oh, if that word will exist in Spanish, it will be amazing. It will be just as useful as I use it or as I think of it. So, that's how my life has changed since English, and that's what I think about the the language. So in the future, I would love to learn French or Italian. I feel like French will help me a lot with communication, especially in trips or in jobs, or even in the school. But Italian, on another hand, sounds so beautiful and expressive, and that's something that I love about that language, because I think it will let me describe things with even more feelings and passion. So that's my two big wins. So, thank you for listening to me, and learning languages has really changed the way I see the world, and I'm excited to keep going. And of course, after the English, eh, after the English will be more. good at all. So thank you. Goodbye.